So hello and welcome back to another chitty chatty video. Chitty chatty? That sounds so weird. Anyway, welcome to another video where we just do a little check-in, see how everything is going. Hopefully everybody is recovering well. I know Georgia had no power for a while, and we've had several people who lived in the South who went through it. Um, we didn't get anything as far as rain or anything like that. There was that weird little high pressure system that kept us dry and unfortunately added to all of the sorrows down south. That being said, we seem to be actually getting into fall finally, which I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of okay with. Although I want a nice long fall, and I'm a little bit afraid that we're not going to get it because the weathermen have already put the dreaded S word into our mid-month forecast, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm not ready for that. I'm ready for long days of walking around in long sleeves or a hoodie or something. Fall. I want autumn. I want a nice long autumn to go with the overly long summer that we had. But other than that, everything is going pretty good. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to have to look in the weather forecast and see if I should actually maybe turn the furnace on and just turn it so that it only comes on if we're like 50 degrees or cooler in the house. I slept last night and I slept so good, which is always nice because I have issues with sleep. But I slept so good because it was, I think, just a, I don't think we had a frost this morning, but it was in the 30s last night. And I think my son's window was still open, so the house was very, very cool. So I was able to turn on my electric blanket and sleep. And that's, I think, the biggest issue when I have my electric blanket turned on is I don't want to get out of bed, especially not when it's cold. But it was nice, and it makes that morning cup of coffee that much better. I do have some harvesting that I need to do, still leaving the Brussels sprouts out there. They're getting a little bit bigger, but they're still like maybe the size of my fingertip. They're not even worth eating yet. But if the snow holds off, they're a cold hardy plant, which means they would be able to deal with this cooler weather. In fact, they might thrive in it. So I'm kind of hoping for that. I did harvest one of my cabbages this week. It was the cutest thing. It was literally, I didn't water enough this year. So my cabbage it fit into my hand. It was the size of a softball, but it was also the perfect size. I shredded it up and put it in a stir fry that I made. And that segues nicely into the next topic that I wanted to update you guys on, and that's the teeth. It's great. In 99.9% of the ways, it's fantastic. I have not had a failure as far as things that I can eat, at least in the last week or two. Everything is so much better. I am not in constant pain. Sometimes when I'm chewing, especially a hard thing, it hurts a little bit, but it's tolerable. And that's a mixed blessing because I'm rediscovering the joys of a lot of foods that I have not had in a long time, which segues into the whole weight loss thing. And I'm still down. And I think the most important thing for me, and the reason I decided not to do like a big weight loss journey on YouTube, because those always seem doomed to fail, is I mean, I do want to lose weight. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not happy with my weight, but I also wasn't happy with how much everything hurt when I moved and just how awkward I felt. So that part has improved a lot. I think I was losing about a pound a week, and then I don't know if I'm just eating more or if maybe I'm actually putting on muscle. I'd like to think that it's the muscle thing, but I can't tell for sure. My pants are looser, so maybe it's the muscle thing, but yeah, I actually went up almost a pound last week. I only weigh myself in once a week because I know me and I can get way too obsessed with numbers on the scale. And the last time I did like a big weight loss thing, I was on the scale at least daily, sometimes more. And so I had to put the scale away and go, nope, stop. That's a little obsessive, Christine. Just quit. I mean, I was successful at the weight loss, but I can't get too obsessive. But on a really cool note, I succeeded in my 10,000 steps a day challenge over the last month. I've been kind of working, trying to do 10,000 steps a day since June, and every month something got in the way. So in July, obviously what got in the way was having all of my teeth pulled. In August, I think I just had a couple of bad days where I was like, I don't want to. Bad attitude there. September went great though. September went great. I was looking at it, since I'm recording on my phone, I can't show you, but I did 403,469 steps last month, which totals out to 172 miles. That's pretty cool, especially when you consider my pedometer app is my phone. And so any of the times that I forgot to bring my phone with me, it didn't count those steps. So I'm kind of happy about that. I mean, do my feet hurt a lot sometimes? Yeah, but I did get better shoes, and that is very cool. Other things that I got this month were public domain books, and to that end, I went to town again today. And I went and haunted my favorite resale store, and I found books that, at least according to the publishing date, are probably free of copyright now. They are all pre-1926. I'm going to have to look them up because these are not like famous books. I've never heard of them. All of them, I kind of just opened them up and either read the synopsis or read the first paragraph and went, looks interesting. They're all kind of cool. Like this one has a really neat little embossed bit on the front in gold leaf. And they're all old. Like this one is 3 different stories, all by someone named John Fox Jr. It's from 1909. Well, actually, the copyrights of the 3 different stories, one was 1909, one was, oh my gosh, why is this all so little? Sometime in the 1800s, and one was in 1900. And it's 3 short stories. One is called A Mountain Europa. The other is A Cumberland Vendetta. And the last story in this book is The Last Stetson. I have no idea what genre they are, but they are old and could be kind of fun to read. The next one I found was Mrs. A.D.T. Whitney's stories, which, I don't know, there's something cool about old stories, even if they're not like the classics. I'm still interested in reading the classics, but I'm also interested in some of these other ones. This is A Neighborhood Story by Mrs. A.D.T. Whitney, and its copyright was 1891 from Cambridge, so it sounds quite British. And yeah, very cool. It's just Mrs. Whitney's stories. I don't know what they're about. They could be romances. who knows? I also found this one, which kind of, going by its title page, I'm kind of wondering if it's not some sort of very old romance, like Bodice Ripper type story, just by the name of it. And it was in 1911 is the copyright on this. And it's called The Winning of Barbara Worth. Could be a romance. I mean, that could be Barbara Worth right there. Could be an interesting read. I also found, I picked up a lot of books today. And you know what? Even if we don't end up reading them on the channel, I might read them myself. This is F. Marion Crawford's The Heart of Rome. And this one, which has some beautiful illustrations on it, or in it, it was published in 1903 is when the copyright is for this one. Again, could be a romance, but I'm not really sure. I also picked up Beverly of Graustark by George Barr McCutcheon. And this one, I love the Gibson Girl. I mean, I think that's a Gibson Girl. I could be wrong. This one is from 1904. It is George Barr McCutcheon, who was the author of Graustark and Castle Craneacrow, etc. And it's illustrated and looks interesting. And one final book that I picked up today, again with the cool emboss thing. I get the feeling that that is a publishing company, maybe. And it is called Crittenden, A Kentucky Story of Love and War. And it was written in 1909. So, interesting books that I picked up. I did pick up one other book, but it is absolutely just for me because it definitely is not out of copyright. And that is, I'm indulging in my Stephen King addiction. I found Fairy Tale at the used bookstore. So that made me extremely happy because I've been waiting to get it until it either gets into paperback or goes on sale. And I found it at the place where you give a donation for however many books you take. Like, I gave a donation just to my local neighborhood, which is all they ask for books, whether you buy one or whether you buy, well, an old El Paso's Fiesta Twists box full. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty happy. But yeah, I think we are doing pretty darn good all in all. I mean, channel-wise, taking down all those videos hurt a lot. Hopefully they don't take away my like monetization, because boy, I didn't lose very many subscribers, which I really appreciate. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. But I did lose a lot of watch time, and I lost a lot of views, and yeah, I mean, if I know to get your channel monetized, you have to have so many watch hours and so many subscribers in like a 3-month period. I don't know if they can take it away if you lose one of those things, but I guess we'll just wait and see. You know, I didn't start this channel to do anything special, and I appreciate you guys who have come along and watched the ups and downs. Yeah, we have some downs sometimes, but that's okay, because like I said before, we're starting a whole new adventure with this like old book club thing. Speaking of old books, there should only be 2 more readings of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because it's a very short book. And I'm curious, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll put up a community post on this as well. Are you interested in reading the other 3 short stories in that book? They're all attributed to Charles Dickens, but I'm pretty sure that one of them is falsely attributed to Charles Dickens from what I was reading in the research that I was doing on it. But 3 short stories that I've never heard of. Or do you want me to go on and do the second book that won the polls, which I think was Pride and Prejudice? Let me know what you guys think. I am open to either. I was kind of hoping that I could come across like Frankenstein or Dracula or one of those, but I didn't. So unfortunately, we start with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for spooky season, and then we're going to have to move on to something else. Anyway, that's about it. I'll probably be checking my wintergreen probably this weekend. I think it's done. I need to go back and see the date that I did the chopping and mixing of it and see if it's been the 6 weeks yet. I think it's done. I'm kind of hoping it is because I'm supposed to be sending a sample of it to my son-in-law and to one of my very good friends. So I'm kind of hoping to be able to get that sent, but we shall see. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And yeah, I guess hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up just because it does make me happy. And I'll see you guys next time.